I'm not Issa Rae, but this is a wind down. Welcome to the Africa Miranda Show. I'm your host, Africa Miranda, and we are here poolside, still in LA. New York, I love you, but I'm not coming back anytime soon. As you all know, every week on the Africa Miranda Show, I love to bring you people that I think have such amazing stories because my life has been a journey and I'm always about hearing someone else's. The man that I have here with me today is a fantastic athlete who has transitioned his career to now becoming one of the most in-demand actors on the scene. Welcome, Thomas Q. Jones, to the Africa Miranda Show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you here. I'm like, we're meeting in real life for the first time. So I just wanted to just jump right into everything that you have going on. I mean, as most people know that are watching this, you've had this amazing NFL career. And when I think of athletes that are doing something like after they leave the field, it's usually commentary or coaching. But you have become you're an actor. Like you're not playing, like you're actually, really have a legitimate acting career. Was this the plan for you, or did it happen by accident?
No, I mean, it wasn't a plan. It was very random, to be honest. When I retired in 2012, after 12 years in the NFL, I was like a lot of guys, they just don't know what to do exactly or what they love exactly. I was always, in the entertainment industry because I had a music label. And
I know you had a label, exactly.
But I wasn't an artist. So it's like if you're not the artist, you're managing artists. And
giving people the platform.
Yes, you're giving them the platform, but it's not the same rush. I started working on a TV show in Miami, and the publicist for the show saw me as an actor on the show. I took a little role and started producing it just to kind of have something to do. And she felt like I had some raw talent. And so she was adamant about me taking it serious. So we went to New York. I found an agency. They started sending me on auditions. I lived in Miami at the time, and I didn't want to come to LA all the time.
Well, right, because I was like, Miami, there's some productions in Miami, but it's not like New York or LA or even Atlanta.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So, in the beginning, I wasn't really that, gung-ho about coming to LA and going to auditions and taking meetings. So I went a couple of times, and I had some good luck. The first thing that I auditioned for was Shameless on Showtime. And so I booked a small role on that. And then I did the show called Comedy Bang Bang on the IFC Network, which is a small variety kind of show.
Gotcha.
And then literally the third audition that I went on was for the show Being Mary Jane on BET.
That's what I saw. Yes, I was like, oh, he's acting. I was like, this is good.
Yeah, and then that's when I was like, okay, this is for real now. Yeah, it's for real now. And that's when I made the decision to come to LA, come to Hollywood.
And really just jump in.
Yeah, and take it serious because I realized then, I had a chance to really transition and really do something that I never expected to do, which is what I'm all about. I'm all about doing things that are very unpredictable. I'm a very ambitious person. I always have been. So, that Being Mary Jane show is what really forced me to come out here and take it serious.
It made me really, because it's, again, you see a lot of people that kind of jump in and, like you say, do little roles here and there. But there was something about the show, I was like, no, this is for real. Like, he's legitimately acting. Like, he's not just eye candy on the show. So it was really good. Now, you're coming from a career, though, where you were a star player, and now as a up-and-coming, and now in-demand actor, you're having to audition and put yourself out there. Is that been a humbling process for you? Because you were being celebrated, and now you've got to go in a room with 30 other people, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's good you say that, because a lot of people, I think athletes that try to transition, they don't know how to separate themselves. A lot of humility comes with that. I'm a very humble person anyway, just because of my background. My mother and father were coal miners in Virginia. I come from a very humble background, so it's easy for me to be humble.
Gotcha.
Plus, I was never really just a football player. I played. I had a music label.
Right.
I had a scholarship that I had for students to go to the University of Virginia, where I went to school. So I always was involved in a couple of other things. But as far as me having to humble myself, it was exciting for me because I got a chance to finally meet some new people, learn something that I never thought I would even be a part of, and it helped me grow as a person. Being a football player, you're kind of in a box, because the nature of the game, the environment that
and that's how everyone is going to see you at that point.
Always, for the rest of your life. And I was fortunate enough to have a good career, so most people would know me as Thomas Jones for the Jets or the Bears or whatever. And I was very anxious to reinvent myself, and so I even added the middle initial.
The Thomas Q. Jones.
Yeah, I added my middle initial, so When you do a Google search, it's two different people.
Oh, so I like
So,
that. So it's really about separating, like, what, not to say what your life was, because that
Yeah.
part of it isn't necessarily over, but really establishing this new phase for yourself.
Well, yes, because that's the only way people take you seriously.
True.
Unfortunately, sometimes people like to compartmentalize you and put you in a box. I think
Yeah.
that's a natural thing to do. I don't do that with people because I feel like whatever you're doing, that's what you're doing.
Right.
But I realize that other people see things that way.
They definitely do.
And you have to make a strategic effort to separate yourself, and it worked. When I retired, once I committed to this, I stayed away from the NFL. I stayed away from
wow,
the
okay.
commentary. I haven't been to a game since I retired.
So you have not picked up a football since you retired in
No.
2012, and it is now 2018.
No, I have not picked up a football. I think football at this point is kind of like that girlfriend that you kind of never got over, in a way. I'm still attached to the game.
Got
I
you.
love it, but I'm a little nervous, honestly, to kind of go back and that energy, the smells, the grass,
Right.
the hearing the pads.
Like what it took to like be to compete at that level.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was addicted to since I was 8 years old.
Got you.
And now that I'm an actor and I've run from that whole world, it's, it's a little scary kind of to go back. And to some people it might seem ridiculous, but it's actually not. I mean, it's a very irrational job.
Yeah.
To be a football player. You know what I'm saying?
Right, it's like I'm
just-
gonna go run into this
Yeah.
wall of men and like
yeah, and then to get addicted to that seems irrational, but the way I played the game, and for how long I played it, I mean, it was literally my life. So I've kind of stayed away, from the game. I still interact with all my fans on social media. I love the fans that supported my career, and now they're supporting my acting
I was
career.
gonna say, I'm sure they're excited to see you
Yeah,
now.
yeah, they're excited because no one really knew my personality that much when I played, just because I was very much an introvert, and I was always a team leader, but I was like one of those quiet kind of leaders, and I led by example, so I didn't do all the dances and all the other stuff.
Well, and it was different now. I feel like now, like social media has really become, I mean, it was there, but I would say probably in the last 5 years, right when you retired, I think is when now so many athletes have these large presence, like on all the platforms.
Social media, yeah, I mean, I came in the NFL in 2000.
Right.
That was my rookie year, and then I retired in 2012. I guess Instagram and all that stuff when it came out, I wasn't on social media. But I knew it was time for me to go because I started looking around. And all these guys are on Twitter and social
Got
media.
you.
Let me follow you on Twitter. I'm like, what's Twitter? What is that?
But now you're on Twitter every day.
Every day.
And you are like, he's a full-fledged member of Black Twitter because that's
Yeah,
how we met,
I had to catch up to the world. I had to catch up to the world. But yeah, I mean, I like I said, I still love the game. I don't watch the NFL that much.
Got you.
I haven't watched the Super Bowl since we played in it when I was in Chicago. We lost in the Super Bowl 2007.
I feel like nobody's going to believe this because, I mean, I believe you. I hear you, but it sounds like unbelievable.
I'm one of those people. I'm very,
when you're done, you're done?
yeah. I'm one of those people. I'm very black and white.
Okay.
When I'm in, I'm all in.
Yeah.
But then when it's done, it's done.
It's interesting how people like describe themselves because a lot of times with people that are acting or either doing anything creative that maybe started somewhere else, they'll say like I'm doing the acting thing or I'm doing the this thing. So I appreciate that you're like, as you're speaking, you're like, I'm an actor and as an actor, which shows, at this point that you have really fully committed to this new stage of life. So
Yeah,
words
definitely.
are important.
They definitely are. But when you're putting the work in, then that's what you are.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've been in an actor studio I was there for 3.5 years, 2 actor studios. So I was in class 6 hours a week.
Wow.
The only football player in classes. So I'm getting critiqued just like the rest of the
Gotcha.
actors. I'm doing scenes with the other actors. I don't know them. Some of them don't know anything about football. They don't
Right.
know
So there's
me.
no like, oh, it's Thomas Jones.
No.
It's just like,
No.
it's Thomas. Do you know your lines?
Do you know your
Right.
Do you know your lines? And then when my coach is saying, "Hey, Thomas, stop the scene. What are you doing? Did you do the work? What's your substitution?
Gotcha.
What's your inner object? All these things." And we're all listening and learning from each other. So it's very easy to throw the sports thing or whatever it is that you did before this out because that can't help you in the middle of a scene.
Now, I know that you're saying that, as an actor, this is where you are now. But to me, it almost seems like your life as a football player in many ways gave you some special skills that are helping you as an actor. As an athlete, you're getting, you have to be able to be coachable. You're being groomed on the field. And the same thing as actors, we have coaches. We have to be able to take direction in the middle of scene, like in scene work or adjust ourselves on set at a moment's notice. So do you think that this is actually giving you special skills maybe that are giving you a leg up over, someone else?
I definitely think it's given me maybe not an advantage, but it prepped me because you as a football player, it's never good enough. in the NFL, my biggest game I had, I set the Jets single game rushing record in 2009, and we lost the game. So the best.
That is sad, yeah.
So the best game I had the next day was like a funeral home at the facility. Everybody was upset. My coach was yelling at me in the meetings. You know, if you would have cut back on this play, you would have had 300.
Wow.
You know, so it's never good enough, right? So coming into this industry, you can always get better and always grow. And then for me being so fresh,
Right.
not having any idea on acting, the technique, what it is.
Got you.
I mean, I was eager to learn and eager to be coached. And even to this day, you know, I'm always constantly learning. You know, somebody asked me a couple of days ago, do you watch yourself? Is it nervous watching yourself on TV? And I'm like, no, because I'm so used to watching film in the
Right,
NFL
you've already,
to critique myself and see what I did wrong. And I do the same thing now. Sometimes I'll go back and I'll watch my acting reel.
Gotcha.
Or I'll go back and I'll watch something I did 3 years ago just to kind of see some of the
growth.
nuanced things that I've done or I'm doing now. And I'm all about coaching and learning. Sometimes I'll go to the movies by myself and I'll just watch, you know, the actors.
So if we see you at the movies by yourself, do not
yeah,
lie
I'm
to
not
me, 'cause
crazy.
you're
Yeah, I'm
studying,
not lonely.
you're studying.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just there because I like to watch different actors. I went to go see Inside Man when it came out by myself. I went to go see the first Man. You know, so Ryan Gosling, and I saw Denzel, and I go watch different movies because you can always learn from what someone else is doing.
Absolutely.
But yeah, football and being able to be coached and being coachable is a direct correlation to what I'm doing.
Absolutely, and I'm sure it's an asset. Now, as we start to, you know, round the bend at the end of this convo, we met on Twitter.
Yeah.
And now I feel like Twitter and social activism, and especially with athletes in the age of Kaepernick and everyone speaking out, you are very, you know, vocal about where you stand and don't stand on things of the day. Looking at, you know, you're retired now, do you feel that if you were still in the league in 2018 that you would be I'll say this, would you be kneeling?
Definitely. I mean, that's my job as an NFL player. It's my job. You know, it's what I go to work to do every day. But it doesn't change what I go through on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
You know, I'm a black man that goes through issues that black people go through.
Right.
Whether people want to accept it or not, there is racism in this country. There's a racist president. There's a racist administration. These are realities.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes people that have a platform like that and that are making a lot of money, they don't want to sacrifice the reputation or the money for
and their access.
Honesty.
Yeah.
And I've just never been that kind of person. You know, I'm a very honest person. You know, I mean, all cultures do bad things.
Yeah.
And all cultures do good things. I'm just about calling people out when they do what they do.
Right.
You know, and I use my social media platforms to express how I feel about certain situations. I applaud Colin Kaepernick. I applaud all the players that are kneeling. If I was in the NFL, I would have been kneeling as well. I would have been on the front lines because, you know, the NFL is 70% black.
It is.
You know, and we, you know, we go through a lot of different things outside of the football facility or the football stadium.
Exactly.
You know, and these things affect us on a day-to-day basis. You know, Philando Castile, Alton Sterling, I mean, that could have been my uncle.
Exactly.
My
Your
brother.
uncle Trayvon could be our little brother or our nephew. You know, it's just,
You know, so just because I made it to a certain level,
Right.
status-wise, financially, it doesn't take away from my obligation to speak up for the people that look like me, that go through what I go through.
Right.
And I applaud anyone on social media. I'm very active on social media. I don't really care too much about people not liking what I tweet.
he speaks his mind.
So, I mean, not in a disrespectful way,
but you're very vocal, and I do appreciate that.
Yeah, you know, I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do, and it just for as many people that don't like it, I think there's more people that appreciate it.
I do.
And that's really all that matters to me.
Now, would you want, you know, if you had a son, would you want him to play in the NFL?
Oh, man, I don't know. I'll prefer he become a programmer, computer programmer.
Okay.
Something a little safer and still make some pretty good money. So, you know, psychologically, I think the game has done a lot of negative, and physically, it's definitely done a lot of negative. So when you weigh both options, it's like, would you let your kid play? Probably not.
Really?
Probably not. I think there's a lot of other ways that me and my experiences, I could take those experiences and I could kind of create another opportunity for them to go to learn the same things that I had to learn about what I went through.
So that's a no. Well, last thing, I'm like, because ladies, I'll take this one for you because I know everybody wants to know. Personally, what are you looking for? Like, what type of partner are you looking for?
So crazy because my mom asks me this all the time.
Cause see, this is a good question.
Yeah. I don't think I have a particular thing that I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I have 5 beautiful black sisters and black mother.
Got you.
I love black women.
Okay.
And I don't have necessarily a preference or a type. I think at this point in my life, it's just someone that I think understands who they are.
Okay.
And they're comfortable in who they are. And there's someone that can teach me something that I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a celebrity. It doesn't have to be a lawyer. It doesn't have to be anyone. It could be literally anyone.
Got you.
Someone I meet at the grocery store. Someone I meet at the convenience store.
Just saying, ladies, he does go to the grocery store. He goes to the movies
sometimes
alone.
yes. I'm just open. I'm open. You know, I'm open to learning. You know, just anyone that can teach me something I don't know and that can grow with me and I can grow with them. But you know, sometimes being in this industry is tough. Dating just because people have expectations.
Yes.
It's funny because some people really think you're your character sometimes. Yes. I've had a couple of people come up and call me, you know, Brandon from Being Mary Jane.
Really?
His name was Brandon.
I thought she called you something. I thought
Cuddy
it was
Buddy.
like, yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was
Or
a
people
nickname.
call me Cuddy Buddy. You know, people, you know, they really think you're that character, which was a kind of a cool experience for me coming from football because, you know, football I have a helmet on, so
Right, so they don't see you.
Yeah, I'm just doing my thing, and then you know they see you out and you're like, oh my God, you number 20 for the Jets, you know. But you know, I'm a normal person. I'm an everyday guy.
He's a normal person with this 12-year career in the NFL, and you know this actor. But I'm just.
Well, I mean, as far as
I'm giving you a hard time.
you know how I go about my day.
Yeah.
It's like everybody else, you know. I don't see myself in that space. Like, I think everyone has some sort of special talent.
Yes.
That should be respected.
Yeah, call it like your oil. Like everybody has like that something.
Yeah.
It's just about like tapping into and identifying what it is.
Yeah, because I'm intrigued by someone else's passion too. There's certain things that are more glorified, like the NFL or being an actor.
Right.
But you know, my mother was a coal miner for 19 years underground, and my dad was a coal miner for 1 year and was laid off. And that was the reason why my football number was number 20 because they worked 20 years combined in the coal mines. So I have the utmost respect for anybody's job. Gotcha. And what anybody does, and no matter how much money you make. So when it comes to a partner, there's certain logistics that are there that you have to at least consider. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like, who are you? Who am I? Can we connect? Can we grow?
Right, as human beings, as like people on this earth, like how can we have these moments together?
Yeah, and I'm genuinely like that. So I'm not necessarily looking, but I am.
You're open.
Wide open.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm like, and we'll leave it at that. He's open. Well, Thomas, thank you. Thomas Q. Jones.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show this week, for making my LA experience that much better. We have had our wine. I'm like, I've been sipping. Thomas has not, but I'm like, can we have a little toast to the end of the show, please? Thank you. So to you, to the new film.
Yes.
To just all of the great things that are to come for you.
To Black Twitter.
To Black Twitter.
Which is how we met.
There you go. I'm like, to Black Twitter. As always, the Africa Miranda Show is here with new episodes every Tuesday. We're at the end of the season. We just have one episode to go. It's been such an amazing ride. And make sure to, as always, join the Africa Miranda Show group because we keep the conversation going there and we have exclusive clips that get dropped there first. I'm Africa Miranda, and I will see you next week.